Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're delving into the influential book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by the legendary Dale Carnegie. This classic is still revered today and provides insightful advice on improving your relationships and communication skills. So let's dive in and learn how we can become better communicators and leaders. Before we delve into the key principles from How to Win Friends and Influence People, let's first understand what the book is all about. Dale Carnegie wrote this seminal work back in 1936. Even though almost a century has passed since its initial publication, the essence and the impact of the book have remained fresh and relevant. The secret to its enduring popularity is simple. It taps into the universal need for social connection and respect. Carnegie emphasizes that most of our successes in life, both personal and professional, depend on our ability to communicate effectively, build strong relationships, and influence people in a positive way. His book is packed with anecdotes from historic leaders and everyday folks alike, illustrating the timeless principles he puts forth. The book is divided into 4 parts, each focused on a critical aspect of interpersonal communication, fundamental techniques in handling people, ways to make people like you, how to win people to your way of thinking, and how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Throughout this video, we will unpack each of these parts, detailing the key takeaways that you can start applying in your own life today. Remember, Carnegie's advice isn't about manipulating others, but fostering genuine relationships based on understanding, empathy, and mutual respect. His principles, when sincerely implemented, have the potential to transform your interactions and the quality of your relationships. Avoid criticism, condemnation, or complaint. This is the first and most important principle. Carnegie argues that humans are inherently defensive and resistant to criticism. When we criticize or condemn someone, they're likely to become defensive and close themselves off to what we're saying. Similarly, constant complaints can push people away, instead of leading to the changes we desire. Criticism often incites resentment. So, the next time you feel the urge to criticize, try to understand the other person's perspective and communicate your thoughts in a more positive and constructive way. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Everyone likes to be appreciated. It's human nature to crave affirmation. Carnegie believes that giving honest and sincere compliments can motivate people and help establish a rapport. The key here is sincerity. False flattery can often be easily detected, and instead of drawing people in, it might repel them. Genuine appreciation, however, can serve as a powerful tool for winning friends, arouse an eager want. The final principle in this section revolves around understanding the wants and needs of others. According to Carnegie, the only way to influence someone is by talking about what they want and showing them how to get it. This requires empathy and the ability to see things from their perspective. Once you understand what the other person truly wants, you can frame your ideas in a way that aligns with their desires. These 3 principles may seem simple on the surface, but their impact can be profound. The crux of these techniques lies in empathy, understanding, and the ability to communicate effectively. The key to successfully handling people, according to Carnegie, is to genuinely care for and understand them. It's about viewing people not as objects to be manipulated, but as individuals with their own wants, needs, and feelings. In the next section, we'll discuss ways to make people like you. Stay tuned. Moving on to Carnegie's 6 ways to make people like you. These principles aren't about pretending or putting on an act, but about cultivating sincere interest in others. Become genuinely interested in other people. Remember that people are most interested in themselves. Showing genuine interest in another person not only makes them feel good, but it also makes them more interested in you in return. Ask questions, show curiosity, and strive to learn more about them. Smile. A simple but powerful gesture. Carnegie stated that a smile says, "I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you." It's a simple way to make a positive impression and establish a connection with someone else. Remember a person's name. Remembering and using a person's name is crucial in building relationships. A person's name is, to them, the sweetest sound in any language. It makes them feel seen and respected. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Carnegie once said, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Active listening is an essential skill. Encouraging others to talk more about themselves and their interests shows your genuine interest and makes them feel valued. Talk in terms of the other person's interests, in line with becoming genuinely interested in others. Talking about things the other person cares about further demonstrates your interest in them. This will draw people to you because it shows that you value what they value. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. Everyone wants to feel important and valued. Compliment others, show appreciation, and give credit where it's due. But remember, it must be sincere. Insincere flattery can often be perceived as manipulative or deceitful. These 6 principles remind us that building relationships and influencing people is not about manipulation, but about genuinely caring for others. By practicing these principles sincerely, we're not just making people like us, but we're also building deep, lasting relationships that benefit everyone involved. Up next, we'll delve into how to win people over to your way of thinking. So stay with us. Now let's explore the 12 techniques Carnegie suggests to win people to your way of thinking. These are not manipulative tactics, but rather principles of effective communication that respect the autonomy and intelligence of the other person. Avoid arguments. Carnegie cautions that you can't win an argument because if you lose it. And if you win it, you lose it. Why? Because you would have made the other person feel inferior, hurt their pride, and made them resent you. It's better to avoid arguments altogether and aim for constructive conversations instead. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." Even if you're certain that someone is wrong, directly contradicting them will put them on the defensive. A more effective approach is to show respect for their opinion and then present your view in a manner that encourages them to reconsider their stance. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. No one is perfect. If you're wrong, don't shy away from admitting it. Owning up to your mistakes makes you appear honest, humble, and human, making it more likely for others to align with your perspective in the future. Begin in a friendly way. Starting off any interaction in a friendly manner sets the tone for the entire conversation. People are more receptive to your ideas if they feel respected and valued. Get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. Beginning a conversation with points on which you agree can help create a positive atmosphere and make the other person more open to your ideas. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. This isn't just about being polite. It's about understanding their viewpoint and learning what it would take for them to agree with you. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. People are more likely to accept an idea that they feel they've arrived at or contributed to independently. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. This empathy-based approach encourages you to understand the needs and desires of the other person, leading to more harmonious and effective solutions. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Validating the other person's feelings and desires goes a long way in building rapport and influencing their thinking. Appeal to the nobler motives. Everyone likes to believe that they operate based on noble motives. Appeal to these higher principles when trying to persuade someone. Dramatize your ideas. Presenting your ideas in an interesting, compelling way can help capture the other person's interest and make your point more persuasive. Throw down a challenge. People thrive on challenges and are often motivated by the desire to excel or prove their worth. A friendly challenge can inspire people to agree with your viewpoint. Applying these principles effectively can significantly improve your ability to influence others and win them over to your way of thinking. These aren't just tactics for one-time use, but fundamental principles of effective empathetic communication to be used throughout your life. Next, we'll learn how to change people without offending or arousing resentment. Stay tuned. Now we move on to the section of Carnegie's book dedicated to changing people without offending them or arousing resentment. Change is often a sensitive subject, and navigating it requires diplomacy, respect, and understanding. Here are the 9 key techniques Carnegie recommends. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Before delving into what needs to be changed, start with genuine compliments. This puts the person at ease and makes them more receptive to your suggestions. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Direct criticism can put people on the defensive. Instead, use a more subtle approach to highlight errors, making it easier for the person to accept and rectify them. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. This shows that you're not infallible and that you understand making mistakes is part of being human. It builds empathy and makes your criticism more palatable. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. This makes people feel more involved and less like they're being dictated to. It increases their willingness to cooperate and follow through. Let the other person save face. Protecting a person's dignity and self-esteem can make a big difference in how they respond to your suggestions. Praise every improvement. Positive reinforcement encourages behavior change more effectively than criticism. Even small improvements deserve recognition and praise. Give the person a fine reputation to live up to. If you give people a positive reputation to uphold, they're likely to try to live up to it. This can be a powerful motivator for change. Use encouragement. Make the faults seem easy to correct. Highlighting the difficulty of a task can make people feel overwhelmed and resistant to change. Instead, provide reassurances and present the task as easily manageable. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. If people see the benefits of change and feel good about it, they're more likely to make the effort. These principles are designed to create a positive, encouraging environment conducive to change. They help ensure that your attempts to influence change are respectful, considerate, and ultimately more effective. Next, we'll explore some practical examples of these principles. Stay with us. That's right. To better understand Carnegie's principles, let's delve into a couple of real-life examples. Avoiding criticism, condemnation, or complaint. Think about a time when you were dealing with a coworker who consistently missed deadlines, affecting your work as well. Instead of lashing out or complaining, you could have had a private conversation where you shared your concern about the project timelines and asked about the challenges they might be facing. This approach not only avoids potential resentment, but also paves the way for constructive problem solving, becoming genuinely interested in others. Let's look at an example from the political sphere. Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States. Clinton was renowned for his ability to connect with individuals in any crowd. He had a knack for making people feel that he was genuinely interested in them. This ability to show genuine interest in others was a key aspect of his charismatic personality. Influencing people to your way of thinking. A fantastic example of this comes from Benjamin Franklin. Franklin had a disagreement with a rival legislator but avoided an argument. Instead, he asked his rival if he could borrow a rare book from his library. This simple act turned his rival into a friend. By avoiding an argument and showing respect for the other person's opinions, Franklin was able to win him over. Changing people without arousing resentment. Consider a manager who needs to address an employee's poor performance. Instead of direct criticism, they could begin by appreciating the employee's strengths, then subtly highlight areas for improvement and ask probing questions that lead the employee to self-assess and identify their own mistakes. The manager could also offer support and resources to help the employee improve. These examples show how Carnegie's principles can be effectively applied in our daily lives. By mastering these principles, you can not only enhance your personal and professional relationships, but also become a more influential and effective leader. Absolutely. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the timeless wisdom we've explored today from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. At its core, Carnegie's book is not about manipulation or pretense. It's about learning to engage sincerely with others, understanding their perspectives, and cultivating meaningful, mutually beneficial relationships. The principles we've discussed today, from avoiding unnecessary criticism to expressing sincere interest in others, from winning people over to your way of thinking to changing people without causing resentment, are all centered around respect, empathy, and effective communication. These principles are just as relevant and powerful today as they were when Carnegie first penned them down. Keep in mind, though, that these principles aren't quick fixes or one-time strategies. They need to be integrated into our everyday interactions and relationships, practiced consistently and sincerely. They're about fostering a genuine interest and understanding of others, about cultivating a mindset of empathy, and above all, about nurturing respect in all our interactions. So whether you're striving to be a better leader, enhance your personal relationships, or just trying to be a better person, these principles from How to Win Friends and Influence People offer valuable guidance. To sum up, it's not just about winning friends and influencing people. It's about creating meaningful connections and being a positive influence in the lives of those around us. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more insightful content.